Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna be doing a long overdue story. I'm gonna share my experience with my experience not growing up with a father. I had done a previous video about father absence in male, but I haven't had the chance to do this one, so I just thought that this would be a really good video to share my personal experience and what I've noticed in me. So what I've noticed in terms of how I am in relationship and who I'm drawn to. I have now discovered why that is how it is. Bearing in mind, guys, all of us were born as a blank slate. That doesn't mean that we're not born with natural reflexes, like when a child would hold your hands or when a child would suck a bottle. Those are natural reflexes that we're born with, but they're not like false knowledge based on research. So it's through interaction, life experiences that we become who we are. So you are more than likely a product of your environment, who raised you, what you're exposed to, what you suck in through your subconscious. These are some of the things that you are. And I'm totally in agreement with that 1000%. Also, there research to back this up, that you develop based on where you are and who's around you. So definitely not having a father or not having a mother it does have a tremendous effect on individuals. But I'm going to be sharing my experience and some interesting. They're quite funny now when you look at it, but it's not that funny because it didn't really help, in how I chose my partners or what I looked for. So without any further ado, guys, let's get into the video. Let's get into this. So for most of you who have been following me from day one, you would know that I've shared my story about growing up with my mom, a single mom. It was 3 of us at the time, before my brother was born and before my sister was born. And all I knew was stepdads. When I say stepdad, my sister's father, and so on. So I never had a father for myself. So I just grew up with a stepdad. But it wasn't like I grew up, because my mom wasn't with my stepdad that long. They broke up. So for the majority of my childhood, I had no father figure around me. I just had cousins. But you know how it is, and I had people that I knew, but I didn't really have a father figure in my life to say, do this, how to act, or how to, how not to let a man treat you, and so on. So those are some of the things that I experienced growing up. No father. It was when I was 12 years old I met my father, and that's another story which I'll not go into. But I didn't grow up with a father. So how has that impacted my life, and how has that impacted my relationships? One of the main things, and these are some of the things that I've learned, I've understood now, I've actually, through knowledge and growth, I've seen where, okay, that wasn't a healthy behavior, or that wasn't a healthy way to be in terms of me and what I knew and what I didn't know. And I know it was really down to that absence of a father. And I will do further down absence of mothers, because sometimes when it comes on to mothers and fathers, sometimes the parent is there but they're absent. I've spoken about this so many times. Someone being present don't mean they're actually present. Present meaning you're interacting with a child, you're doing the things you're supposed to do, you are influencing their life in a positive way, not just existing around them and allowing them to do whatever they want, but you're being an active parent. That's totally different to you just being present. So again, a lot of people, they may have present parent but they don't have an active parent, so they would be classed as someone who didn't grow up with a dad or grow up with a mom. So like I said, what have I noticed? One of the main things, so having my first relationship, I remember having my first serious relationship. And when I'm talking about, it's not the so-called, young love or nothing like that. But when you know what love is, and you have an understanding of what a relationship is to some extent, because everything is a growth process. So I remember my first official boyfriend. What I noticed, and this is in my relationships, I've noticed something, the type of guys I'm attracted to. Again, it's funny because I realized there's a lot to do with me having daddy issues and me having those unmet needs. And usually, especially with girls, boys also, but especially with girls, if you have a lot of unmet needs, then you're going to display it in your relationships, whether it be with intimate relationships or just general relationships, friendships, you name it. This is why development is so important. This is why healthy development is so key, because then you avoid these situations. So the first thing I noticed, that not having a father, not growing up with a father, has affected my life, is in whom I'm attracted to. I don't know why. For some reason, I've never found a guy that is younger than me attractive. I've always grew up knowing that. It's weird, but I've always been attracted to older men. Now, when I say older man, I'm not talking like old, but guys that are usually 7 to 8 years older than me. Not only the age I've noticed in what I'm attracted to or whom I'm attracted to, but I've also noticed that I tend to be more attracted, or I tend to fall more in love with guys that are so mature. It's like, those guys that have it all together. They know what they want. They're family orientated. I find myself being more attracted to those guys, as well as them being older than me. Trust me, the easiest way for me to fall in love, and I don't fall in love easily, it's very difficult for me to fall in love. I must have been in love 3 times in my lifetime, and I'm in my 30s. So that's something that I've noticed, that the age is a big factor, because I have seen where guys that are younger has chatted me up, and there's nothing, no matter how good looking the guy is, because for me it's not just about the looks. No matter how good looking the guy is. And the next thing I've noticed as well, I don't like pretty guys. A guy can't be too pretty, and I don't like a flashy guy. A guy can't be too flashy. I prefer simple, nice, those guys who decent. They're just simple, they dress nice, but they're not flashy, they're not having the chain and the earring. I don't go for that. I'm not attracted to that. So that's something I've really noticed. The age is a big factor, and the maturity is another huge factor. So what have I noticed being with in my past relationships? And like I said, I have ended up with, I've never dated a guy younger than me. All of the guys that I've ended up with are older. So what have I noticed, and how has my lack of father, how has my unmet needs or lack of a father presence affected my relationships in a negative way? One of the things I've noticed is, in my relationships, I don't know why this happens. I don't know if it's because I allow it. I think it's really because I allow it. It's like the way how I fall into this immature way. I tend to become this immature person in terms of, it's like I'm looking to my man, or I'm looking to I'm looking to my man for approval. It's weird. But I do know that, in relationships, especially when you're dating a mature man, he wants a woman that's together, a woman that, runs things. But I've noticed in the past, and this, like I said, it's development, isn't it? And I've developed beyond that. It's amazing how I've grown, but just looking back, I've noticed that it's like I look to my partner for approval. I look to my partner. There's something so attractive. I find it's like I adore the person when the person can sit me down and reason with me, tell me what to do. Like if I come up with an idea, you say, man, don't do that. Or you say, man, this is a good way. There's something, I don't know. There's nothing more appealing than a man that, is mature and has it together and can, encourage me or, push me. Which I'm already driven, but, a man that, can say, man, do that and it's good and all of that. But then there's a but. Because what usually happens is things take a turn where it becomes more of a control issue. Where because I fall into that category, my mom always used to say, you should start a relationship the way you want it to carry on. Meaning, a lot of women go in relationships and they always give their 200%. And the man gets away with everything because they're always doing more. And they're not giving the man the opportunity to step up and show them his affection. And what usually happens is because men can be so blind to a lot of things. What usually happens is the man falls into that role and he just doesn't go the extra mile for you when it comes on to wowing you. Because these things are a part of a relationship, guys. So the man doesn't go the extra mile, and this is where the problem lies. Because then you start to get frustrated because you're not getting that reaction. But it's because you start the relationship in such a way that you haven't allowed the man to be a man. So going back to how everything changed from me adoring a man for, encouraging me and stuff like that, to it turning into more of a control. Because like I said, it's like I fall into this immature place where you look into the person, it's like, I don't know why, but it used to happen to me. But like I said, I've grown past that. But I fall into that. And what usually happens is, it becomes like a control issue. Because then it's like my partner becomes my father. I don't know. It's like my partner becomes my father. Because what usually happens is, it's like because of that immature level that I had, your partner started to tell you what to do. And then I start to realize that, I feel like you're my daddy. And I start to resist that. I start to resist that when it's too late, because of course I've already established that. Then that's where the problem lies. In discovering all of this, I knew there was something not right. Because it becomes frustrating when you don't feel like the woman, you feel like your partner's child. Like your partner is constantly having to say this or constantly having to say that because you fall into that whole I need approval, I need love, it's just like one of those things where you look back, you're like, you cringe because you're like, oh my God, you become this person that is so dependent on another person. And I don't blame life. I just know that that's something that I went through, not growing up with a father and having those insecurities, not knowing how it's really trial and error, not knowing how a man is supposed to treat you as opposed to what to expect, what not to expect, because you're growing up, you're not hearing someone saying my princess or my daughter, or you're not having that love and affection. So definitely one of the main areas when it comes on to a girl not growing up with her dad is that it affects her relationship, unless she works through those unmet needs. Because all of us would need a father and a mother. I stress that both parents are important. One is not more important than the other. God created mothers and fathers for a reason. There's things that a father can do for you that a mother cannot do. There's needs that a mother will meet in a child's life that a father cannot meet. Do you understand? And the good thing is, you see more parents stepping up nowadays, where there are more fathers taking responsibility for, their children. But unfortunately, back in the days, not so long ago in my era, it was really about a lot of children, fathers not stepping up. Which you see the problems that we have in our society. Because there are some damaged people walking around as they're normal. But a lot of young women and young men are so empty. And most of the things that happens is because of that emptiness that is going on within them. Because, development is so important. And if you have anything to disrupt that natural, normal development stage, it will create a problem. And that is where you have situations like myself, where you crave approval. You look to older men. You look to your partner like you're looking for approval, like he's your father. Most girls, they'll tell you they didn't grow up with a father, or they didn't have a good relationship with their father. They tend to be attracted to older men. Not saying some women are even attracted to older man. Not me. I'm just saying the guys usually the maximum I've ever been attracted to is a guy that's 10 years older than me. I don't think I've ever been attracted to a guy more than that. No, that's a bit much. But I've noticed the guy cannot be younger. I don't even have to find out the guy's age. I can tell. And even when I find out the guy's age, it's even worse. I can't see myself with a younger man. I don't know if when I get older, I will, but I doubt it. I don't care if I'm 60. I doubt I'll ever be attracted to a younger guy than me. There's something about older men and maturity. But again, I think that's down to that absence that I had in my life where my father is concerned. And I believe so because of even research has suggested that. I'm not saying that everybody that didn't have a father displayed this, because you have to understand, sometimes you didn't have a father, but you had someone in your life. You had a father figure. So let me stress that a father figure can replace a father. You just need a person that is filling that gap, meeting those needs, developmental needs that a child that you need to grow up healthy. So that's really my story. My dad is in my life now. I met him at 12, working through it. It's weird at first. It's still a bit weird because, he didn't grow up with the individual, but it's just one step at a time, one day at a time. But, it's really important that people ensure, even if you and the man not together, try to ensure that not only for your sons, because people tend to think that it's only boys that need fathers, but also for your daughters, because all of this is so important. Having both parents is key in a boy or a girl's life. So that's really it, guys. That's what I wanted to share. I will come from a more psychological perspective on this whole absence of fathers in girls and in a girl's life, and also do a part 2 on the whole absence of fathers in a boy's life. But for now, I just wanted to share my story because I did wanted to do it for a while. But guys, I hope you're staying blessed and that you're staying protected, and that your sanity is intact in this crazy time. But guys, as always, I do thank you for watching, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. And stay blessed, stay positive. Until next time, please do remember to give this video a thumbs up, like, share. You know the drill. You know what to do, guys. Leave a comment. Until next time. Bye.